It's the 3 on PLAXtv.
Finally. Yeah. What's good, y'all? It's your boy PLAX9 back with another episode of the 3 on PLAXtv. And I am happy to be back. It's been a little minute. I've been putting out some other videos and stuff like that. But I had to talk about this. Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I am happy that Dame is free, first off. He was riding that loyalty wave to the point of it being a fault. He wanted to stay loyal to Portland, stay in Portland, but he failed to realize that Portland is a terrible organization, or maybe he did realize that and didn't want to admit it. But Portland has historically been a terrible organization, and Dame should have known they weren't going to build a quality team around him for him to win a championship. But, you know, he was locked in on being loyal. He didn't want to ring chase and all that good stuff. But the older he got, it got to him, and he wanted out, rightfully so. Because, again, Portland is a terrible organization. And he requested a trade. He specifically said he wanted to go to Miami. Portland was like, we're going to send you where we get the best offer. They thought that Milwaukee gave them the best offer with Jrue Holiday and some picks, and now we are here. We are about to see one of the greatest shooters in NBA history with one of the greatest power forwards in NBA history with an immaculate supporting cast around them. But first and foremost, I am just happy that Dame is free from the shackles of the Portland Trailblazers. That's the first thing. And I feel like that Milwaukee did get worse on defense. They lost a lot of perimeter defense when they lost Jrue Holiday in this trade, but they still have their front court defense with Giannis, Brook, and Bobby Portis coming off the bench most likely. And their offense just added 25 to 30 plus points per game. So, and again, defending that, Damian Lillard, Michael Jordan Middleton, and Giannis, along with Brook Lopez, who can knock down his threes, and Bobby Portis, another guy that can knock down his threes and his mid-ranges. Brook also has somewhat of a post game. They're probably not going to use that, but he does have that in his arsenal. Giannis is unstoppable. Dame is one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. There's nothing you can do with that team, like as far as defensively, unless your entire team is locked in on defense, which there isn't a lot of teams that's like that. It's just going to be a tough matchup for anybody. You know what I mean? As much as this trade benefits Dame and as much as this trade benefits Giannis, of course, because Giannis wanted to win more championships and he wanted the Bucks to make moves to help him do that, which I think this is a move that's going to help him do that. I think this is not best, but really good for Chris Middleton as well, because Chris Middleton has always been more of a third option guy. I understand in the finals in 2021, he was a great second option. He played amazing basketball in that playoff and in that finals. Sometimes he looked like the most unstoppable guy on the court a lot of times during that run. But I feel like Chris Middleton's best spot, I think he can thrive the most as the third option on a championship level team. And now he gets a chance to be that. And it's not as much pressure as being the second guy. You know what I'm saying? Because now, you know, Giannis is obviously 1, Dame is 2. You could even say 1A, 1B, but it's Giannis's team. So Giannis is 1, Dame is 2, and you have Chris Middleton as your third guy. That is great. You're in a wonderful position, and I think Chris Middleton will thrive in being the third guy, getting a lot of catch and shoot stuff. He won't be as heavily as defended as he has been in the past, so he'll be able to create some more shots for himself. And, you know, when Giannis or Dame or Giannis and Dame is off the floor, you still got heavy offense from him, you know, whether it be running that second unit. Obviously, he's not coming off the bench, but he could be out there with the second unit guys, get his own shots, get his 18, 20 to 25 points. And then you still got Dame and Giannis coming back into the game doing their thing. So it's just, is, like I said before, it's just going to be extremely tough to guard this team because they have it all. They have post work, they have shooting, they have the mid range, they have, the pick and roll, the pick and pop. They could run almost whatever they want with this team. The only thing that they're lacking on now is perimeter defense, but I think with their front court, with having Giannis and Brook and Bobby Portis back there protecting the paint, I think that just frees them up a lot. And the lack of perimeter defense is helped with that front court and the offense going up tenfold. Because, again, not many teams, if at all, is going to be able to guard all of these guys at the same time. And then you got Brook. I'm assuming they're subbing Brook or Giannis out for Bobby Portis. It's just so much that they could do with this team, and it's scary. Like, I seen a graphic. They could legitimately run Dame at the 1, Middleton at the 2, Giannis at the 3, Portis at the 4, and Brook at the 5 at the same time. Like, imagine that down the stretch in a finals. You've been playing your heart out. You think it's a close game, and they come out in the fourth quarter with that fucking lineup. Dame, Middleton, Giannis, Portis, and Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez and Portis can shoot. Giannis can't really shoot, but he's improved as a shooter, so you can't necessarily leave him open per se. You got Middleton, who's a bucket. Dame, who's one of the greatest shooters ever. Giannis could get a bucket down low whenever he wants. Brook could get a bucket down low if he wants to. It's just a matchup nightmare. I hate to be a cliche, but it's legitimately a matchup nightmare, and the Bucks definitely won this trade, and I think they made the right decision. Losing Drew Holiday is very tough, but I mean, they wasn't gonna get Dame for free. You know what I'm saying? So you had to give up something, and at this very moment, I think it was worth it for them to win more in the future. I probably should have got into this in the beginning of the video, but I'm gonna just break down who got what in the trade. So Milwaukee gets Damian Lillard, right? Straight up. They just got Damian Lillard, which is fine. The Trailblazers got Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara. I don't know who that is. I'm not going to even lie to you. A 2029 unprotected Milwaukee first pick and an unprotected Milwaukee swap rights in 2028 and 2030 all went to the Portland Trailblazers. The Phoenix Suns get Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. I'm assuming Little and Johnson won't play. They were just there to make the numbers work. Maybe they will. Who knows? But, the Suns get Nurkic, Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. So that's the trade. Shout out to Woj. Also, I found out Shams dropped another trade involving Dame that was completely fucking wrong. And that just goes to show why Woj is the guy. Shams is a very close second, but Woj never drops incorrect news. That's just me. So that's why Woj will always be the number one guy when it comes to like the trade deadline and moves and all that stuff. But I want to talk about Portland really quick. Now, if you've been watching PLAXtv, you know I've said some things about DeAndre Ayton and I've meant him. But pairing him up with Scoot Henderson, they're both young guys. They both can grow together. Ayton, as much as he has faults and he's regressed since he's been in the league, which is crazy because he's young as hell, I think his experience of being in a playoff environment and being in the finals and stuff like that can help Scoot and help the young team develop. And I think they can be somewhat of a duo in the future going forward if Ayton obviously decides to stay, which I don't see why he wouldn't. And obviously Scoot is on his rookie contract. I think eventually with those two as your core two guys, and then you got Shaedon Sharpe and Jeremy, and they still got Jeremy Grant, I think at some point they can make something happen. Will it matter? Maybe not. They'll probably, like, at best, maybe make a play-in or maybe be like a 7th or 8th seed. But I think that's good for this team as constructed. And who knows, Scoot could become a superstar level guy and maybe take him to even the second round. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't believe in Portland enough to say that they'll be contenders at some point, because that will require Portland to be a competent organization, and I don't think they have the capacity to do that. But I think at some point in the future, if they keep this core together, I think this Portland team can be something. Something other than a lottery team. You know what I'm saying? I think they could make a push and be a legitimate play-in or playoff level team. They also got Jrue Holiday in the trade, but they immediately said that they planned on trading Jrue Holiday to a contender of some sort, so he has a chance to compete for a championship, which I think is awesome. That's great. I was gonna say they didn't give the Dame that same respect, but they kind of did. They sent Dame to a team that just won a championship. It wasn't exactly the team that he wanted to go to, but he did get sent to a championship level team that needed some improvement, needed a little bit of help. So that was a good move. But they got Jrue Holiday. They plan on moving him. And I seen a lot of stuff about him going to Philly, maybe even the Lakers and stuff like that. But I think the most poetic thing would be for Jrue Holiday to get traded to Miami. And Jrue Holiday in Miami is insanity to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, first of all, that's going to be tough to score. You know how I said the Bucks would be tough to stop? Miami would be tough to score on, because you would have Jrue Holiday, Jimmy Buckets, who's a lockdown defender, and Bam in the front court. What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? You barely, most guards aren't getting past Jrue Holiday easily. Jimmy is a lockdown defender. Bam can defend the perimeter and the front court and defend, the rim and stuff like that. That's going to be really tough to play up against every single night. And who knows? This could be setting up a conference final or a second round or even a first round of the Bucks versus the Heat again. Not only would it be revenge from the previous year of the Bucks losing to the Heat of this past year, but it would also be, Dame was supposed to go to Miami. Jrue used to play for the Bucks. They already have somewhat of a rivalry just from playing each other. I think that would be cinema. On top of, I think Miami does need a Jrue Holiday type of guy to take that next step. And if they do want to actually win a championship, they're going to need something else. Yes, they're adding Tyler Hero back from injury, but I just don't think that would be enough. So I think they should really go hard and try to get Jrue Holiday now that he's available, and Portland is making it known that he's available. They should try to put some type of package together with picks and young guys to get Jrue Holiday, because Jrue and Philly, I'm just not really. I just feel like Philly is just crumbling. The process is just not going well. Embiid is great. Harden is trying to get out of there. It's just too much going on in Philly, and I don't think at this moment that they're really like legit contenders. They're gonna win games and stuff like that, but I don't see Philly like winning the championship or anything like that. Even adding Jrue Holiday, so I would just say maybe that's not the best situation for them. The Lakers is cool, but the Lakers have a lot of people at the moment. So I feel like the minutes would be a little off unless they were like giving up D'Lo or something like that. I guess that would change things, but I don't necessarily know if the Lakers would work per se. He would help them, but I just don't know how that works with the lineups and shit like that. It was a couple other teams they were talking about. Boston. I do like Boston. Jrue Holiday in Boston would be fucking insane, because then you got rid of Marcus Smart, so you could get who did they get? So you could get Porzingis or whatever, but then you basically get Marcus Smart back but a scoring Marcus Smart, a Marcus Smart that could go and get you a bucket. So you upgrade it at that point. So I do kind of like Boston. I just prefer if Drew Holiday went to Miami because I feel like that would be a better story. I think Portland can definitely do something with Scoot and Ayton and Jeremy Grant and Shaedon Sharp and that little core that they have. Obviously, it won't be immediately, but at some point, I think they'll be able to make something happen. Now, the Suns. Now, I know you guys know that I'm a KD hater. I fuck KD. I hate KD, all that good stuff. But them adding Nurkic, I think Nurkic is a way better fit for the team that they have constructed than Ayton was, because Nurkic may be a little slightly injury prone and he may, foul out a lot, but defensively he tries. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't require the ball. Like, I feel like Ayton, to be effective, needs to get like touches more. I don't think Nurkic needs that. I think he would be fine with being just a defensive, rebounding, cleanup guy, and I think that's the best role for him. The biggest issue with him would be staying in the game, whether it be not getting injured or not fouling out. That would be the biggest thing with him. But they do have Bol on the bench, so maybe they could relieve each other with the big man minutes and stuff like that. But I do really like Nurkic going to the Suns. I think he's just a way better fit than a more offensive Ayton. Because you got offense. You don't need an offensive big because you got KD, you got Brad Beal, you got Devin Booker. You don't need any more offense with that. Those three guys are gonna fill up the stat sheet. I think they got TJ Warren on the bench too. Like, they got enough offense. They need to bolster that defense a little bit, and getting Nurkic, I think, is the better option than Ayton in their situation. So I think the Suns did really well. And they got Grayson Allen too, who's a dog, who's a good defender. He is going to foul. Again, like Nurkic, he's going to foul people a lot. He may get kicked out of games a lot, but he's a dog. He's a decent defender. He can knock down his shots. I think he's a good fit for that team as well. I think at this point, the Bucks kind of have to be the favorite. And I'm going to tell you why. Like I said in the beginning of the video, offensively, they'll be extremely tough to stop. And even though they did get a little worse with their perimeter defense, their rim protection is still there, right? So it's not like they just lost all of their defense. They just lost some of it. But they bolstered their offense. Like, it's going to be extremely tough to defend that team. Because, like, you got to try to defend the perimeter. You also got to try to defend the paint. You can't focus on building a wall for Giannis when Dame is out there shooting 40-foot threes and shit like that. Like, it's just going to be all around difficult. And then you got Middleton in the mid-range and shooting threes. You got Brooks shooting threes. You got Portis in the corner. It's just going to be all around tough to defend that team. Also, Giannis is very serious about winning, as he's been saying, even though his two brothers who aren't very good basketball players continuously have roster spots, but that's a whole different conversation. Yeah, that's a different conversation, but Giannis is very serious about winning. Dame obviously is very serious about winning, and he made the move to win a championship. And I think now he doesn't necessarily have an excuse. As long as everybody stays healthy on that team, there's no excuse for them not to win a championship. And Giannis has already won a championship. So now that's even, I guess you could say, even more pressure on Dame to get the job done. So if everybody stays healthy, which I'm hoping they do because I would like to see how they play together, I really think they are the favorites just off of, pressure. The team itself has won before. The determination of Giannis that he's shown in the past, and Dame not having an excuse to not winning as long as everybody's healthy. So that's why, in my opinion, they're pretty much the favorite right now. Obviously, the Lakers have a chance. Obviously, Denver has a chance to repeat. I'm not disrespecting Denver at all. They definitely have a chance. If Miami or Boston, even Boston as constructed has a chance. Miami always overachieves for some reason, and if they're able to add Drew Holiday, that makes them an even better and more scary team. If Boston is able to add Drew Holiday, that makes them an even more scary team. I think the team that Drew Holiday goes to just upgrade. Like, it doesn't really matter as long as it's a contending team. Whatever team that is just going to be a huge upgrade for whatever team that is. But I do think I was gonna say Boston, the Bucks kind of have to win this year. You see what I'm saying? Obviously barring injuries. But let me know in the comments down below, what did you guys think of Dame going to the Bucks? Miami fans, let me know what you guys think. I know Jimmy said the Bucks need to be investigated for tampering and all that stuff. I don't know about that, but Jimmy just was probably upset that, you know, they didn't land Dame. Even Tyler Hero was a little upset, but I think he was more upset because he wanted to go to Portland so he could take more shots. Now he's forced to play the right way still, and I don't think he likes that. I think if he would have went to Portland, he would have been chucking up shots, and him and Scoot would have been a dynamic duo. I think that's what he wanted, and that's why he was upset. But let me know in the comments down below what you think of the Dame trade. Do you think the Bucks are the favorite? Do you think they're gonna be out in the first round? Do you think, you know, injuries might plague them? What do you think? Who is your favorite? Is it Denver? Is it the Lakers? Is it Boston? Is it the Bucks? Is it Miami? Who's your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ding that notification bell so you know every time I drop a video. And most of all, YouTube. I love you guys. Peace out.
It's the 3 on PLAXtv.
Finally. Yeah.